Hi, I'm Magic Johnson. Welcome to the fundamentals of basketball. To be the best, you have to learn from the best. That's why I brought some of my friends along to help me teach this program. Starting with my former teammate, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's only the greatest scorer of all time in NBA history. Plus, he got that patented shot, the sky hook. Then we move along to Amari Stoudemire, the big man, down low, powerful, strong. He would dunk on you and block your shot all at the same time. Then we talk about Mr. Smooth himself, Rip Hamilton. He's only the best mid-range shooter of all time. Then somebody I work with every day named Kenny Smith with that three-point jump shot. Woo, it's good, all nets. Then the coach of the year, every year, the best high school coach of all time in California state history, Coach McKnight. Oh, he's awesome. He's a teacher. He's a motivator. The fundamentals of basketball. You're here with Magic Johnson and all my friends. I call them the Dream Team. I'm here with one of the greatest high school coaches in all of California history, Coach McKnight. He has won 5 state championships, which is truly amazing. But what's really amazing, he's won 661 games and only lost 53. Then you take into account he's won 17 CIF championships. Woo! I'm just blown away. And I'm not done yet. Hold up. He's won 21 league titles. He then only lost 4 league games. Can you believe that? 4 league games. Man, in 22 years. Wait a minute, let me say that again. 4 league games in 22 years. Coach McKnight is just amazing. And then, this is what I love the most. He has put 90 players, high school players, in Division I college basketball. That means that not only are they great players, but also good students in high school. That's what this man has done. And also he has 4 players in the NBA. So when I talk to this great Hall of Fame high school coach, Coach McKnight, I want to thank you for coming on. But what I want to say is this. You must be a great teacher, a great motivator, and a high school coach who can communicate with these kids. What is the key to your success?
Well, I think the biggest key is to get those 90 Division I players to play together. You know, over the years, we've been very fortunate to get a lot of good players to play together, which is not an easy thing. And, you know, we try to stress to them if they share the ball, maybe get less shots, they'll score more points because they're better shots, and just to work together. And if we do that, we'll play more games, our season will be longer, and when a lot of other teams aren't playing, we're still playing. And, you know, we've had good success at that.
Tell the people about probably your conditioning program, and also probably your off-season program that you try to help the players get better over the summer.
Yeah, well, our summers are based around practicing 3-4 times a week. We play 30-40 games during the summer, try to mix them up where half the team's playing here, half the team's there, so all the kids are getting a lot of playing time because there's no championships won during the summer. It's just pure basketball and getting better at the game. And we've been things have worked out real good for us as far as the summer competition here in Southern California. There's great competition here in Southern California.
Tell me, you must love the game and you must be passionate about it to teach young people and to be successful. I mean, in 22 years only losing 4 games, what makes your program maybe different from other coaches?
Well, again, I think we get some of the cream of the crop players, which obviously makes a lot of coaches look good. But, you know, the kids really buy into the team, you know, playing as a team, defensive as a team. And our team defense has been very solid over the years. And let's face it, you know, a lot of teams score points, but you got to stop the opponent. And we've been very successful with that over the years.
Would you say that the key is having a good point guard or a good leader or a good big man or a combination of all three?
Well, as with the Lakers when you played, a great point guard is the most important thing. Not just a good one. A great point guard makes a team. I'd rather have a great point guard than a great center, just because a great point guard can do a lot of things for you. And I've been blessed over the years with some really great high school point guards. And that has made a huge difference because they can get you in your offense. They can do so many things for you as a floor leader and get other people to play and get everybody involved, get the guy the right shot. If guys hit 2 shots in a row, get them there, get them the ball for a 3rd shot. You know, have that type of player. But we've been blessed over the years with some good big guys, good wings. We've had all the ingredients.
What would you want people to get out of the program that we're introducing here today? What would you say that's important for them to really look at and study and then go out and practice? Is it the drills or what is it?
Well, I think it's a combination of the drills and some of the sets we have offensive and defensive. I actually feel this is a tape that a new coach, a young coach coming up could take, impress some young kids with it because it could really help his knowledge of the game, and it's simplified to the point where they can learn it real quick. And something that maybe it's not too difficult to understand. And that's what we're trying to get across here.
Yeah, I think that's really important because we have so many coaches who love coaching in Little League or even maybe junior professional leagues who really never played, so they could really use these sets to teach their players, especially in those YMCA leagues, also junior pros and so on. If you could give them a little advice, what would you tell them right now about this program?
Well, you know, we all started somewhere in the coaching days, and I started back when I was 15, 16, and I did not have a great knowledge of basketball, did not play a lot of basketball up to that point. And, you know, I self-learned everything. Basketball was stealing from everyone else. And this tape is a good opportunity to learn some out-of-bounds plays, learn some set offenses, learn the fundamentals of offense and defense. And yet, you know, you're taking in from a lot of different pros with your leadership on how it's done and some of their favorite moves and some of the things, you know, they found that have been successful for them. So I think it's a great combination of youth, high school, all the way up to the pro level.
You mean to tell me you didn't get into basketball till you were 16?
Yeah.
You kid me?
No.
You won 661 games, and you didn't get into basketball till you were 16?
Nope. Didn't get in.
This man has won 5 state championships, and didn't get into basketball till he was 16. Put 90 players in Division I basketball. Didn't get into the basketball game till he was 16. Ladies and gentlemen, that tells you something. See, you can do it. It takes hard work. It takes sacrifice. It takes commitment. It takes passion and love for the game. And I got one of the best sitting right here, standing right here, Coach McKnight. We're so happy. It's time to get started and show you some things. Let's go.
Okay, our first drill we're going to start off is right-handed speed dribble. And we're trying to gain as much ground as we can, pushing the ball without carrying the ball over. And I'll have the boys demonstrate right here with Magic Johnson.
And what Coach McKnight was talking about is you want to get that ball in front of your body so that you can burst out of there. If you're in a pack, you can get ahead of everybody and then also push the ball where you can make a decision quickly. So you want to get that ball up, get your head up, get the ball ahead of you very quickly so you can get down the court on the fast break, okay? Here we go. Go. You see the ball is ahead of their body. They're looking up the court to see if a man is open. That's how you have to do it. Go. Great job. All right, we're going to go to the next drill now. That was the right-hand speed dribble, and it's the same thing. Now we're going to go to the left-hand speed dribble. And remember, always get it out there in front of you, but always stay low when you're coming out. Stay low, stay low. Then when you get about 3 dribbles, now you can come up high and start looking up the court for the open man. Stay low out the burst, first couple of dribbles, then you can raise up high, okay? Just like this. You want to come down, stay down. Now I can come up and get to looking, okay? That's how we want to do it. Go. Stay down. Now up. Yep. Good. Go. See, that first 2 steps are very important. If you can get out quick, Then you can leave 2 or 3 guys behind you. Now that fast break gonna be 3-on-1, 3-on-2. And you know once the Magic Man get into a 3-on-1, 3-on-2, woo! It's over. James Worthy on a slam dunk. Michael Cooper on the alley-oop. Oh, you better hold me back. I'm talking too much now. All right, here we go. Woo!
Next 2 drills are a crossover and step back crossover dribbling. Now again, if we do it left side, you want to do it right side also, especially work with your weakest hand. A lot of us like to come out only work with our strong hand. You need to work with your weak hand and improve that. And Magic's going to demonstrate with the players the crossover and the step back crossover.
Now the crossover Coach McKnight was talking about is you want to be down, and then you want to go about a couple steps, 3 steps, cross. Now when you cross, you got to cross quick and fast. So if I'm crossing over, I got to cross over, and now I got to have my protection hand right out in front of me in case the defense want to reach in. So I go 3 steps, I cross quick. Same thing. Always cross quick. Get that ball right in front of you with a burst of speed and cross over very fast and then go up the court, okay? So we're going to do a couple dribbles left, then a couple dribbles right, crossover, and that's what we're going to do right now. Go. Quick. See how quick? You got to stay low and don't be high. Good. Go. Nice. Very good. Very good. Now what we're going to do is what we call our step back crossover. It's the same thing, but we're going to step back to crossover because maybe the defender is up on me close and I need to just step back off of it. So we're going to come here and we're going to step back to crossover. And it's just taking a step backwards and then crossing over, okay? So you may be moving forward, but maybe I need to step back to cross over and then go, okay? Here we go. Ready? Go. Yes. Just to get away from the defender a little bit, I may need that little step back action just to get him back off of me, and then I cross over, and then I go. Go. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. It's almost like I'm hesitating and stepping backwards. See, it's almost like I'm hesitating, oh, and then I cross over on him. And then when you cross over, you got to cross over, boom, very low to blow past them, okay? So again, this is a tricky one, so I really want you to understand this. So here I am, I'm moving forward. Now I'm stepping back, but when I step back, I'm really moving fast when I cross over to lead my defender. Okay, good.
We're now going to show you the in and out dribble and the in and out crossover dribble as demonstrated by Magic.
Thank you, Coach McKnight. Now, this was my favorite move in the whole world. I couldn't wait to get on the fast break and set my man up for the in and out. Because I used to come full speed at the man, and then I faked like I was going to my left, but actually I was going to go back to my right. And that defender would go like this, and then I had him every time. So, but you got to sell it. The main thing with this drill is to really sell it. So I got to really sell like I'm going to my left, but in reality, I'm going back to my right. So that means body and ball, and then back out to the outside, okay? We're going to keep it in one hand. That's the right hand. So here we come. Go. Oh! And then back out. All right, here we go. Go. Sell it. Good. Sell it. Good. Next. You got to really sell it. Oh, yeah. Sell it. Oh, yeah. Good. See? You're selling that head. That head will make a defender think that you're going, sell it, and then come back out. That's a beautiful move. Everybody now in the game has got to have that in and out, like you're going to cross over, but in reality, you're going to keep it in one hand. Now, it's the in and out crossover. So after I set him up and I blew past him on the in and out, he thinks I'm going to in and out him again, but in reality, I'm going to cross over on him. So I'm going to come, I'm going to sell it, oh, and I cross over and go. One more time. We'll come. Oh, and cross and go. Okay, here we go. Go. Yes. Go. And you got to stay low on that crossover. That's the key. Go. Oh, yeah. If you don't hear them feet, see, a ball player, if you don't hear the gym squeaking, they're not doing something. If you can hear the gym and the tennis shoes squeaking, that means that the players are doing just what they need to be doing. Always remember that. I want to show you a drill, and I'm going to take it to the side so you can understand. I want the big man right here, no ball. You're going to be defending me. We've set you up for a lot of different drills, okay? Crossover, stutter step, and go by. Now, when you actually are here, say I got my hand, left hand, and I cross over and I want to get by the man. Now, the main thing here is I can't cross over. I set up, I can't cross over and go wide, because if I go wide, the defender now will have a chance to recover. What you should do when you want to cross over is cross your leg right here, right by his leg, so that then he cannot drop step to get back and recover, and then I can go past him and by him. Okay, that's the key. These are the little tricks to the trade I'm giving you right now. So we got it here, I cross over, but I put my leg right by his leg, and then I'm gone up the court. Okay, if you go wide, if I set him up on the crossover and go wide, he now can recover to get back. Okay, good. Thank you.
The next drill is a stutter step move and also the spin move off the stutter step, which Magic Johnson made famous. Here they are.
All right, what I want to do here is, this is one of my favorite moves too, because you can set the man up again, because what you want to do is come down fast at him, then you want to raise up the stutter step, take another dribble, and then spin. As he thinks that you're still going to go with your right hand, you want to spin, take it to your left, or if you got it in your left, you want to spin with your left and then put it in your right. Now the key here is to sell it again. So my first thing is to sell the hesitation, then take it. Now when I come out of my spin, I got to have my arm out. This is the arm that could protect in case one of the guys are trying to steal the basketball from you. So coming out of that spin, always remember, if I'm coming left-handed, I got to have my left hand out, ready to protect the ball. Okay? That's the key. All right, here we go. Go. Stutter step. Good. Good. Stutter step. Good. Beautiful. Go. Good. Did you hear the sneakers? Did you hear the sneakers? If you heard the sneakers, that means that they're stuttering very well. Good job. Nice.
Next drill is change of direction, where we're going to go behind the back dribble, then also between the legs, as Magic demonstrates.
All right, now this one is just to get the defender to get up off of you, and in case he's taking away your power hand or your favorite hand, then you got to change quickly, and the way you can do that is to go right behind your back. So I'm going to go 3 dribbles behind the back, 3 dribbles here, and behind the back, always changing direction. And the same thing is with through the legs. It's the same thing. So if I want to change direction through the legs, I got to stay down. I got to stay down, always staying down though, because if you come up, that defender going to have a good chance of stealing the ball from you. So always stay down, and you can move faster when you're staying down. All right, here we go. Go. Good. You can never break stride. You just keep going. All right, go. Good. Good. See, you never break stride. As long as you stay down, you can continue going the same speed. But if you're up, you're going to have a difficult time of keeping your speed. That's why you want to stay down. Okay, young men, we want to do between the legs now. Change direction through that. Here we go. Good. 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 Next. Good. Good. See, you never change your speed. You just change your Right through the legs, change direction, and go. And keep going, okay? I want to take it one step. Little man, here, and you. Okay? You guys are on the baseline. Same thing. Now, watch that they never change their speed. That's the key to this drill. Never changing your speed. Okay, go. Go. See, always still going quick. That's the key. As soon as you make that transition from left to right, I'm down, and then I'm going. I hate when young people do this. Come up the court. You're just doing it just to do it. You gotta, if I'm going through my legs, I'm going to go somewhere. See, I'm going somewhere. Not just to play around with the basketball. Always remember, never waste motion. See, a lot of times you're just sitting up here wasting time, wasting motion, but you're not going anywhere. See, that you're not doing anything. But if I'm coming through my legs, oh, I'm going, then that's going to make sure that something happens and that defense got to react to me. Okay? That's the key to this drill. All right, thank you.
We're now going to demonstrate the straight line behind the back dribble drill.
Coach McKnight just talked about the straight line behind the back dribble. And what you want to do is, we got you in some change direction type dribbling situation and behind the back situation. But now we're just going to stay in a straight line and just look up the floor, never really breaking stride, just behind the back, same thing, and also never deviating to your left or your right. You're just going to stay in a straight line, walk, you're dribbling down, right behind your back, really just straight line, got your head up, and I'm looking up the floor at the same time. All right, here we go. Ready? Go. See, you're never really moving left to right. You just stand in a straight line. And the reason we do this is because the defender may be coming up. Here we go, go. And he can just go right away. Here we go on this side. Good. Here we go. Oh, good. 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 So you can get right past the defender right away. In case he jumps on your left or your right hand, quick behind the back and continue to go. Here we go. One more time. Good. Go. Good. 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 Just a quick motion, quick drill, behind the back, explode, and keep going. But we're staying low. What you can't do is stay high. Okay, here we go. Now, if you stay high, go. You do it, I'm going to be right here to steal it. But if he's low, I can't do that. See, that's why you got to stay low with your dribble, right behind your back, keep that arm out there to protect the ball, and keep going. That's how we do it. Boom, boom, everything quick, not slow, everything quick. Now let's see what the big man got. Here we go, stay down. Good, good. That's right, come on back. Stay down, we gotta stay down. Good, good, see? Always stay down with the dribble. Yeah, keep your speed going too. Same pace, same speed, and go. Good job. You know, I talked to Coach McKnight, and we both felt that this is one of the most important drills for young people, especially when you talk about using the cones, because you don't need anybody but yourself. You can set up some cones so you can go in and out as far as working on your ball handling skills. So you're going to change hands. Every time you get to a cone, if you're dribbling left, then you're going to switch it to your right. But you're going to exchange very quickly. And so let's take a look at this drill. Here we go. Quick. Oh, quick, quick, quick. Good, 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 good. And at the same time, they're keeping their head up, so in case they have to make a pass or a defender is coming, then they can pick the ball up. Good, 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 good. Now, We're gonna keep it going because the same thing they can do every time you get to a cone, spin, spin. Here we go, keep going, keep going. There you go, good, good, spin. See, now you're working on your quickness again with your spin move now. Same thing, just using the cones. In and out, good. Footwork gotta be tight now because all the cones are real tight. So you gotta keep it tight. Good, 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 good. This is all about timing. Hand and eye coordination is wonderful. Okay, now I'm gonna do something really quick because this is gonna be good. I'm gonna tighten it up and I want them to really come down now and they gotta go through real tight. Okay, now I want in and out very quickly, change real quick. Oh, Irvin, oh, I made it. I'm a star. So we're gonna weave in and out really we're not going in and out as much as we're just working on just dribbling in, out of each cone. Your body can stay straight, but I just want to work on their fingertips right now. All it is fingertips. Go. Good, good. Look how quick that has to be. Look how quick that is. Oh, that's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Man, that's lovely, 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 lovely. If young people will work on this, they will improve their ball handling. No question about it. Each and every day, if they work on this, they will improve their ball handling. And the reason we do that drill is because of your fingertips. You gotta switch that ball left to right so quick, being in a tight situation, that it makes your fingertips stronger. Beautiful. I'm gonna have to give my hand myself because they did a nice job with that.
Okay, now we're going to talk about footwork. And Rip is great at footwork, and Coach Clay, we're going to go a couple drills. But one thing about this whole segment, we might show it once or twice, but the repetition is going to be the most vital part. You have to do this at least 50 to 100 times a day. We're going to show it once or twice, but you have to do it at home as a viewer. You got to do it more than that.
I think, Kenny, the footwork is probably the most underappreciated aspect of basketball. I think it's very important to be on balance every time you catch the ball, every time you're about to shoot. And I know we have, luckily, Richard Hampton here, who's one of the best at it, but it's extremely important, and we're going to get right at it. First thing we want to talk about in regards to footwork is, a lot of guys back home, a lot of guys don't even pay attention to even know what your feet are doing. A lot of times, guys are coming into their shot, which I personally like, coming into a 1-2 the shot. The next time, they might hop into the shot. The next time, they might be off balance and fade left, fade right, fade back, fade forward. The bottom line is you want to try to do the same thing every time. So what we're going to do right now is a simple drill just to kind of work on stepping into the pass. It's ideally we're going to be stepping into the shot, but this drill is just designed to get us stepping into the shot. So just a simple passing, like a two-man passing drill. But the biggest thing is we're going to do everything but shoot. But I want him to walk into the shot, and you're going to see me walking into the shot as well. But this is a good way to get your feet moving to where they need to go towards the bucket. Just like that. Notice our footwork. Notice our footwork during this. Everything is the same way. Maybe a good warm-up drill you can do before you start shooting. One more. Okay, the sixth segment, what we're going to work on now is we're going to work on our footwork outside an extended area of the court. So when Richard's going to be catching the ball, he's going to have the same footwork every time. For all you viewers who are left-handed, it's going to be the exact opposite. But we have Richard Hamill, obviously, is very good at this footwork, so really pay attention to his feet on this. What we're going to do right now is Richard's going to start on the sideline. We're going to have Coach Smith as a passer. Okay, Richard's going to come into the shot wherever he decides, 17, 18, 19, 20 feet. But I really want you to pay attention to the footwork, not so much the shot, but I'm sure he's going to knock a few down.
Yes, sir. Let's start now. Okay, if you notice, the easiest part of what he's doing, because it went from earlier, stepping in, and if you're having trouble trying to figure it out, if you think about your inside foot, the inside to the basket, inside to the passer, that's the foot that normally you would step with because that's the one closest to the ball. I'm not going to step with this one because someone could kind of come into the passing lane. So Richard is stepping with his inside foot closer to the ball, which gives him the ability to get it earlier, step into a shot. The second thing, why do I want to step in? Why wouldn't I bunny hop and come here? Because one, when Richard comes in and he's able to step, if he changes his mind, he can still go to the basket. If he changes his mind, that's the biggest thing, he can still go to the basket. So if I step 1, 2 as I catch, then I don't have to be stuck on shooting a jump shot. Okay, last time. So now catch it and still look like you're gonna shoot it, and then drive to the basket. Right. So watch the footwork. See, and he's still able to go to the basket. And he's still able to go to the basket, and it's natural, he's in his natural motion. See, he's still able to go to the basket and lay it in. See, that's the difference between an average player and a good player, and a good player and a great player.
Now again, that was a little bit easier because he's coming on a break and all his momentum is already coming towards the bucket. So right now what we're going to do is we're going to apply the same footwork, but in more of a play-like, game-like setting. So if he were to start on this side of the court and end up on the other side of the court in kind of a windshield type movement, we want to see what his footwork. Let's see if he can still keep his footwork the same way. We're going to have, again, Coach Smith going to be at the top. We're going to have Richard down here on the baseline, and he's going to be going from sideline to sideline for the shot. Can he get a shot here, shot there? We're just going to keep going back and forth, and I want you to pay attention to his footwork.
Perfect. Everything, it looks the exact same. Exact same. He's stepping with his inside foot. He's coming to the ball, going up. He could change his mind if he wanted to and go to the basket. And if you notice what Rip was able to do, as he's coming out, his footwork looked exactly the same as he coming over there. But the last thing that he did, which is probably most important, everyone talks about triple threat or squaring up, but when he shoots the basketball, I see a lot of people at home probably do this. My feet are pointing towards the outside. No. Rip turns his feet and squares them towards the basket. Good shooters make sure that both their feet, their shoulders are pointing towards the basket when they're shooting the basketball.
I got a question for you, Kenny. Now, as a defender, and I don't mean to jump into defense right now, but as a defender, the higher up you go, can't you tell when a guy's off balance, and can you take advantage of it if his footwork is maybe, let's say he had the opposite footwork right now. Let's actually use Richard as an example. Let's say Richard's on the perimeter right here, and he's got his right foot instead of his left foot jabbing at me. Let's say he's got the ball, and he's got the opposite footwork of what we've taught. Now, as a defender, can't you really take advantage and maybe crawl up into him if he's off balance?
No question about it. I think the one thing that Rip uses better than anyone else is the fact that he penalizes guys for playing good defense because he has great foot movement. So if I do everything correctly and you be the passer and Rip does it correct, I do it correctly and a good defender's coming, I come at him. See, he's penalizing me for getting close to him and because he stepped with the correct foot. Where if he does it the other way and kind of back up, right? And he backs up, see? I'm gonna come up to him and I'm gonna be a great defender and you're gonna call me the glove.
So you would say balance is huge, balance is huge.
Balance is everything.
Balance is everything.
Well, the 3 points that we really want to hit home is that everything looks the same. It doesn't matter if we're stepping into our shot, we're curling, it doesn't look different. We have the same footwork and that's what makes us quicker, faster, and more balanced. That was the key to anything that Rip said, anything, was being on balance.
Yeah, like Kenny said, you got to be balanced. You know, everything squared up to the basket. You know, shot preparation, I think, is more key than anything. And the shot, that's 25% of the battle. You know, I tell people that all the time. If your foot's squared up and your shoulders are squared up to the basket, the shot is 25% of the battle.
So do 75% of your homework.
Yes, sir.
Myself and Coach Clay, we're going to show you how to move without the ball. We're going to show you how to get open. and use screens. But we're not going to do it. We're going to use Rip Hamilton, one of the best, or not the best in the business.
Yeah, no, definitely. No. Obviously, when we talk about reading screens, there's not too many guys in the country that can go down the court anytime, no matter how the defense is playing, and do whatever they want. A lot of what the offense does is predicated on how the defense is going to play. So what we're going to do right now is talk about reading screens, and let's get right at it. We got Taylor King and Mike Garrity going to help us out here. We're going to start off here on the right block. Now, starting off here on the right block is where most offenses start. So right now we're going to have Taylor setting the screen for Richard, and Mike's going to be guarding him. Okay, for this first segment, Mike's going to be overplaying him on top of the screen. So if Taylor, you're setting a good screen. Okay, and again, I want all eyes really to be focused on Richard all the time, because this is really what the drill's about, him setting his man up for his offensive play. Okay, so if Mike's playing over the top on the screen, okay, Richard has a couple options here. He can either flare or he can backdoor. Now the first thing we're going to go over, I know Coach Kenny's going to be passing right now, but he's going to work on a flare. So he's going to set his man up, and he's going to work on a flare. So right now we're going to have is Richard starting on the block. Coach Smith has got the ball. Mike's going to be overplaying. He's going to be going on the high side of the screen. He's going to be coming up on this side. So obviously a fade or a flare back to the corner is the play here for Richard. So let's go ahead and go through that one time. Just like that. Let's actually go through it one more time here. Notice how Mike is playing. And again, guys at home, this is a great drill to start off at a young age understanding this. I don't want to speak for Coach Smith here, but I didn't understand this until a little bit later, and I wish I would have known this at a younger age.
See, I knew this in the first grade. I did learn this in the first grade. But I'm going to say, too, because I know at modern day, y'all not going to let him play defense like that. So the first thing, he has to get a little closer to Rick, because as a point guard and everybody at home, if a guy's playing you like this, the first thing, Rick, he don't want a jump shot. He wants a layup. So I'm going to just throw him the layup. So first thing he has to do is get closer. But he's still going to go over the top once he sees the screen. Once you get to the screen, go over the top. That's when Rip flares to the side, and he has a wide open jump shot. And he's the best in the business at understanding where he goes. Now, what do you look for, Rip, when you come off this screen or you see the screen coming?
The one thing I do is, it depends how he guards me. If he's up close on me right here, I know that I'm trying to come off this as tight as possible. If I know, I try to read him. So by the time I get here, I pretty much know if he's up on me close, I'm a curl. If I know he gives me a little bit of space like that, I always take one step, push the screen there, or wide open jump shot right here.
All right, because the last thing too, Rip, could you show us, because there is a method to that step. So you say you're coming close. Could you show us actually the push off step, and show everybody on the program? Because this is the most important thing, your footwork to get the shot, the fundamentals to get the shot. A lot of guys can get shots, but don't have the fundamentals, and their feet are turned in different directions. If you watch how his footwork is, you'll see how he gets open as well.
Like I said, it's all shot preparation. I tell myself all the time. I said, the shot is nothing but 25% of the battle. It's all about getting your feet set, getting squared up to the basket. And if I know that he's chasing me, but I know he's going to flare off top, I come up, a push off my left, and by the time I got the ball, I'm already squared up for the shot.
Okay, so now let's do a couple of those.
Okay. And one thing, guys, I want to mention real quick. I know all of you, when you watch highlights, you watch a lot of the slam dunks and the three-point shots, but I want you to watch his breakaway speed. Right when what Richard does really well, and what not a lot of guys do, is once he gets to the screen, from there to where he gets the shot, it's a sprint. And on this, it's more of a back pedal, but most of the time, it's a dead sprint. And I want you to pay attention to that back home as well.
Okay, let's do like 3 of those. Okay, 25% of the battle.
Same thing, I come up, left. Take a shot now.
Okay, that's why we got edited.
Yeah.
Good, that's perfect, that's good. Okay, one more, last one. Notice he's waiting to the last second. He gets off, he pushes off. I'm gonna give him the ball where he can do something with it, and he shoots it up. So that's what the important thing is, the push off. The push off is most important.
Yep.
Okay, and another thing, just straight out of that movement. Now again, he has the flare option, but also there's a backdoor option. Now in this thing, Mike Garrity is going to really over-exaggerate coming over the top of the screen. He's probably looking for a steal and going down the other way for a layup. But obviously he's not going to get it. We're going to work on the backdoor cut now. Why don't we get right into that?
Same thing. I know he's coming up. Layup.
Same one more time. Let's do that one more time. So it's up, Point guard has the ball over his head, boom, back door. Boom. Now, the other thing, everything looks the exact same coming up before as it did when you fled.
Yep.
Because you can't, if you come up, might guard him again. You guard him again, he comes up, it looks the exact same. All of a sudden, it's not the flare, and he cut back door. So everything looks exactly the same no matter what you do. And that's the deception that he has.
So far we've got the flare, we've got the backdoor cut. The one we're going to work on now, and I don't mean to speak for Richard, but it's probably one of your favorites. We're going to work on the curl cut. So we're going to have the screen right now up high. Taylor's going to be the screener. He's going to be up here, setting the screen. Mike, right now, what he's going to do, and a lot of coaches will say, well, let's just trail him. Let's trail the score. You know, coaches are real frustrated when shooters start making shots, so they're going to try to mix up things. So this time he's going to trail, and what Richard's going to do is he's going to come off hard off the screen. He's going to catch it right here for about a foul line curl shot. So we're going to work on curling right now.
A lot of times with the curl is, you know, the guy's really pressing up on you. So, you know, the one thing I try to do is feel him. You know where he's at all times, and I know where my screener is. And I tell my screener sometimes, just to keep my guy off balance, you know that I'm gonna come off that screen. You know, so I'll come fake to the left, think I'm going left with Kenny. Then I actually take off right here. And while I'm taking off, I'm still looking behind me, knowing where he was at. And as soon as I get it right here, I'm on my shot.
One of the big things, if we do a couple of them,
Yep.
and then we'll talk about it again.
Okay.
All right. Brings him over. Shot. One more time. Oh, he shot him again, got him again, we got him again. He thought I was gonna throw it, I should have threw it. We got him in here. I'm gonna be assist leader. Got him again, shot. Now if you notice, one of the things that the defender did and Rip did, he penalized the guy for playing good defense. Because what happens, I'm gonna take your place for a second. If he comes down, he's sending the screen. Most good defenders say, I'm gonna get on the outside shoulder. See, now he's created the space and he got through and got the shot. Because what he's gonna do is say, okay, you're gonna chase me around? I'm gonna penalize you for chasing me around. And you're gonna be very sorry you did that. Instead of before, a bad defense, he penalized me where he went and he fled. So either way, you're penalizing guys if you're a good offensive player.
Okay, another thing real quick. I want to ask Rich, you know, when you're in the game, and I know it's easier to do here because we got, you know, obviously a couple high schoolers, very good high schoolers, but in the game it's a different situation. How much contact, how much body contact can you get away with? I don't think it's just in the professional level, but in college and high school, how much can you really get away with? And is there a fine line between, you know, what you can't do?
You get away with a lot.
Well, if I'm on you close, like this, I mean, can you get away with a little nudge here and there?
You gotta be very sneaky about it.
Very sneaky about it.
You know, the one thing about me is people look at me and they say, okay, I gotta body him up as best as possible. And I love that. I use that to my advantage. Because a lot of times when people guard me and they using a form, I use that against them. I might go this way and just take this little nudge like that, just to get you off balance. And I use my speed to come off the screen and curl real tight to get my shot off. So I think when you move without the ball and definitely come off the screens, you use what, like I say, little sneaky tricks. You know, I mimic Reggie a lot off of that. You know, he used to get me with it all the time. But it's all about using your foot speed, you know, knowing where the screen's coming at all times and changing directions.
Well, one more area I want to cover right now is, again, we've talked about this side of the court quite a bit. Now, as a defender, when you start getting when you watch tape and film and you start watching Richard, like, how am I going to guard him? Well, I might just decide to come out here and wait for him. Well, you got to be able to use the other side of the court as well. So right now, what we're going to do is we're going to give Richard the option of setting his man up on this side of the court, and he's going to go ahead and get a 16-foot jumper right there in the baseline. Now, on this one, you can really see his breakaway speed. After he gets rid of his defender for that split second, he really hustles down to the other side of the court. So we're going to do a couple of those right now. Let me get out of the way here. Mike, why don't you play him actually however you wish, and maybe overplay him a little bit to this side to give the viewers a chance to see him having the option of going the other side of the court. Actually, Taylor, why don't you come over here? Taylor's going to be setting a screen on this side. There's going to be already a screen on this side.
Why don't you set it, Coach?
Okay, I'll set this screen as if he was coming this way. Taylor, you go that way if this is coming that way.
Let's do a couple more of those. Last one. And if you notice, the last subtle thing that Rip does every single time, when he comes off the screen, everyone's talking about coming tight. Sometimes even, you always want to kind of touch shoulder to shoulder. Sometimes I even see Rip grab his own man. So this is how he knows he's coming tight. He's grabbing him, coming off, and he'll know he'll be able to come tighter to the screen. And then no one gets between. The defender cannot get between the space if you're touching your own man. There's no way you can get through there.
Yeah, like Kenny said, this is I always say, this is my security blanket right here. And as long as he's staying still, I'm gonna come as tight as possible. Even if I gotta grab it to get right there, because when I come off that screen, there's no way possible somebody's gonna get between me and my screen. No way.
Okay, now the last thing I want to finish up with, now ideally, we all want to get a shot every time down the court, but there's some times where the best thing to do is just to get into offense. So the last thing we're going to do right now is Richard's whole concentration right now is just getting the ball. So we're just going to have him popping out to the wing. I'm going to move this ball rack a little bit. We're just going to have him popping out to the wing and receiving the ball just to get into an offense. This probably is one of the most important things out of everything we've talked about, because this is probably what we're going to get most off. So right now, we're just going to get back to our normal screener and our defender, and Mike's going to he's going to be playing him honest. He's going to be playing him probably the last place where Richard wants him to play is just honest, forcing him to one side of the court. So Mike, you're going to be right here, forcing him to one side of the court, and the biggest thing is just getting open a few times. For you viewers back home, you know, it's very important to get into offense as well. So what we're going to do is do that a couple times right now. Come up and set the screen a little lower. Exactly. A couple more times. Again, using his hands quite a bit to try and get him off him. That's it. That's reading the screens. Hope you guys back home understood a little bit about reading the screens today.
Yeah, the biggest thing is we got to go over the points. Reading the screen, knowing where your defender is. That's what reading the screen is. Second, where your offensive player is setting the screen. And shoulder to shoulder, as tight as possible. Those are the 3 points that Rip brought out today. Okay, next we're going to talk the pick and roll with the all-time greatest player, one of the all-time greatest players ever to lace up with Kareem. And now, one of the up-and-coming, Rip, you get to play pick and roll with Kareem. Well, you two guys be the offensive players. Coach Jason and I be the defense, and you kind of walk us through what's a good pick and roll and what we need to do as a guard and from a big man standpoint as well.
The first thing I want to start out with, you know, when I know I got a great player like Kareem, you know, a guy that can shoot the little 10-footer, you know, I want to come down and I want to wait for him. I want to set him up. You know, the one thing I don't want to do is get too close to the sideline, because if I get too close to the sideline, then it's easier for Kenny to guard me. You know, it's easier for him to guard me going this way, and they can easily help out. So the one thing I want to do is, when I come down, I'm reading him the whole time. I know Kareem is about to come. So when I'm coming down, I got to make him respect that I'm going to go baseline. Because if I make him respect that I'm going to go baseline, I got him off balance. So now when the screen do come and Kareem do come over, I got him backing off a little bit. Now I'm coming off trying to get to a spot. Now if he just helps a little bit, I know that I got a 7-footer and a 6'3" guy, and I'm just going to lob it up and let him go.
Okay, now Kareem on the other end, as a great screener and a great roller, what are you looking for?
Well, at this position, I want to make it easy for Rick to set you up. So I want to give him the best possible angle, the widest possible amount of space, so that he can take me, he can take you into my pick and create a gap that has to be filled that creates pressure on the defense.
Okay, so let's get to that point. So you come down, we're here. All right, I'm off balance. Now the pick. Right here, now, what's your position in Kareem? Now, which way do you turn and how do you roll?
Now, once I get some contact with you and I can make you stop your motion. I want to turn and keep an eye on the ball. I always turn to the ball and wait and see what the defense does.
And he gives you it, and we got a layup.
2 points.
Okay, now let's say he comes in, and I say, I see him. I see the pick coming. I'm going to go under the screen.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to go under it. Now, what would I do as an offensive player with the ball?
Okay, as I come down, and I know that you're going to come underneath, I just read your eyes. So I'm going to keep bringing you down, keep bringing you down. As soon as the cream gets right there, I'm going to take one step back, and I got a wide open jump shot.
So you already have in your mind, if I'm going under,
Yeah,
I have a wide open
I got
shot.
a wide open jump shot right behind you.
And Kareem, on the same thing, as you know that I'm trying to go under, what are you trying to do
Well,
offensively?
if I can see that you're hedging to go back under, I want to turn with you.
Yeah.
As you go to turn under, I'm going to turn this way, and I'm just going to brush you enough. It's going to slow you up just another half a step, and that gives a great shooter all the time he needs to get a good shot.
Okay, now let's say, because I'm a thinking man's defender over here. Me and Jay, we gonna think this game out, Coach Jay. So now, let's say I come through, and I said, I'm gonna make him go to the basket. I'm gonna go around the screen. Now, what are you thinking?
Same thing, I'm going to wait for him. As soon as you come, I'm going to come off him as tight as possible. And then the same thing, just lob it up, got me a nice little 2 points, easy basket on the little fella.
Okay, and the last thing, because Rip has been killing us. Now we double team. So Kareem, if we're going to double, as he comes off the screen, what are you going to be looking for?
All right. Now, in the event of the jump for the double, I have to read the defense. So when I see this man cheating, I'm going to break early. Go right in and get a layup.
So breaking early if he cheats over. Now let's say if he stays late and he comes over, stay late with him. Now come on, now we double. Same thing, slide to the basket. No wonder y'all score so many points in this game. That's the way you run the pick and roll. It's an understanding of reading the defense as well as understanding the offense.
Yep.
Okay, now we're going to talk about post moves. And obviously Kareem has been one of the best that ever do it in terms of in the post. And Coach McKnight is going to help us out, and we got Alex kind of defending sometime and actually demonstrating to show post moves.
Well, I think we should start off with the hook shot. Obviously, Kareem has made it famous. He's the best there ever was at the hook shot. And Kareem's going to show Alex some of the finer points of shooting the hook shot.
Well, when you shoot a hook shot, basically what you're trying to do is use the element of speed and quickness with somebody your own size, or even somebody that's a little bit taller than you. You can still get the hook shot over them because they don't know when you're going to shoot it. And so if you can get them involved in defending it, going from side to side, you can always get them with the element of surprise and get it off before they can react and block the shot. So for anybody, you know, especially with height like Alex, who's going to be playing in the pivot, this is a great shot to know. And any like big guard or forward that is going to get an opportunity to get the ball on the post, this is a great shot to know. The best way to practice this shot is to work on the footwork. And the footwork means how you set the shot up using your feet. Now, for the footwork, I always use the drill that George Mikan made famous, called the Mikan drill, which you use one ball, and it's just repetitive, shooting the ball off of the glass right in front of the basket. It's just like this. Now this drill develops ambidexterity, timing, and footwork. It's all incorporated into one drill. I would do this drill every time I warmed up to play basketball. Now, as you go further on, you'll take this a little bit further out so that you're a little bit further away from the basket, and you work on using the backboard to your effect. Okay, Alex, you try it. Start in close, right in close. That's perfect. Keep doing, try and make 5 with each hand. Okay, good.
Kareem,
Now-
could I ask a question?
Sure.
When did you start working on the hook shot?
I started working on this particular shot when I was in the 5th grade. They showed, the kids at my school showed me how to do this drill, and it's been part of my basketball fundamentals ever since then. I always do this. It keeps your timing perfect, it keeps your footwork perfect, and it works on your touch. Now, there are ways that you can enhance this drill. I need another ball. Can I get another ball? And that's, I use 2 balls. So on the offhand, you have to keep this ball above your shoulder. And again, this makes you do just a little bit more in terms of your grip and your shooting touch. Try it. Very good. That's perfect. And last but not least, you can get a medicine ball and use that for the off ball. And that'll work on the strength in your offhand and the touch in your shooting hand.
Now, one of the things now is, let's say if I have a defender on me.
Okay.
Let's talk about the positioning to get your hook shot off.
Okay. For someone to be playing in the post, once somebody gets the ball in this position, they're really a threat, because right from here, I'm only 10 feet from the basket.
So let's talk about even getting to that position. And I'd love to be Magic for a day and
Okay.
be able to pass it into you, Coach McKnight. You could be Pat Riley.
You got it.
And we go down and we talk about just getting the position, and then I know as a point guard where you want it.
Okay, in order to get good position here, I need to get the defense to commit to try to take something away. So if Alex is going to guard me, he's not going to want me to just walk into the lane here and get post-up position. So he's going to body me and try to keep me out of the paint. Okay, so that'll let me get the ball right here. At this point, I have to make the defense react. If he's going to try and take this shot away here, I'll make him to commit there, close the door with my back leg, and then I'm in for an easy shot for a layup. So Alex is guarding me. I make him commit to there. I close the door here and try and make that shot.
But the key is all based off of your first move.
Off of the first, which is the threat that Alex does not want me to go here and shoot that shot.
So the threat of going to the middle sets up everything else.
Sets up everything else. And you have to have a credible threat going to the middle. Okay? If I can't make this shot, then they're just going to let me shoot this and box me out and run the other way when I shoot this shot.
Kareem, why do you think other players in the NBA don't work as much on the hook shot or haven't perfected the skill like you did?
Well, I think that other players don't work on the shot because they don't see it for what it is. This is a very high percentage shot that you can get 6 feet from the basket. Now, as we all know, shooting percentages go up as you approach the basket in distance. It's simple math, but sneaking in here with your back just doesn't seem to be sexy enough or something. But if you can get in here and get the defense to commit and make the defense collapse, then you also have passes back out to the perimeter for easy shots. So the center can be a playmaker. Even though he's not handling the ball, he can cause playmaking situations where he helps his teammates by causing the defense to collapse because he gets the high percentage shots in the paint area.
You used to make so many passes, great passes to people that are wide open when they try to come and double you. You would always be able to see the floor. Is that something that just got better and better as you grew?
I think it's something that I worked on in terms of hoping that you had guys on the perimeter that could shoot that shot and nail it down. Because after they get burned 2 or 3 times, then I'm going one-on-one again. Because they don't want to come and help and have their guy be the one that's breaking the back of the team's defense.
In high school, you must have got double teamed a lot.
Got double teamed a lot and had, we'd play games with one guy in front of me and one guy behind me. But that gave my teammates rebounding opportunities and wide open layups when the other team was not playing attentive defense.
We hear a lot about positioning, catching the ball, and then chinning the ball. Because they're saying that it's a great opportunity for you to kind of survey the floor before you go into your move. Now, were you one who kind of chinned it, or you did other things with it as well?
Well, anytime I would rebound, I would always take the ball in under my chin. But keeping it here enables you to see everything that you need to see, and it's not blocking it. Sometimes you can hold it up here, and it's out of the way. And anybody coming to reach, you can get the ball to their man. As soon as you see their hands come into your field of vision, you know someone's open for the jump shot. But it takes teamwork and an understanding between the pivot player and the perimeter player as to where they're going to be and where they want the passes and how you're going to set up going to the open space for the easy open jump shot when the defense collapses.
Okay, we've seen the hook coming in the middle. We've seen the drop step. About how many moves you think a great pivot player normally would just need down there?
A great pivot player only needs 2 moves. Something where he's the threat coming into the paint, and something where he's the threat going baseline, and that works on either side. So I would do that on this side. On the left side here, I would get a shot right here where there's very little help that can come. So this shot here on this baseline, or complementing it, turning this way for using the glass.
So you hear, I need 38 moves in the post. If you have 2, one sets up the other.
One sets up the other, and the most important moves are the moves that you use to get to this position with someone behind you. Once you get that person behind you, it's a lot easier. You also have to develop the strength in your lower body to hold this position, because people are going to try and push you off. If you can hold this position, then that sets you up for lob shots, which is what Shaquille O'Neal is so great at, because people in front of him because of his size, and he just holds that position. He's strong enough. They pass it over, and he's in there with no defense between him and the hoop.
And if you say, you've seen the evolution of basketball, and you say, you know what, this is kind of missing from the fundamentals. This is what big men need to get back to, and it will be much more effective. What would that one thing be?
To get the whole team to buy into the concept of high percentage shots. These shots in here are high percentage shots. You got your feet in the paint. You're shooting at 6 feet. That's good. That's how we wanted to play in the park. We didn't want to be out there.
Right.
We wanted to be right here. Closer you can get to that hoop, the more your shots are going to drop. So the whole idea is to get the team to buy into the concept of, we want the high percentage shot. An open shot in the paint is a great shot. It's much better than a wide open 3-point shot. If you can get more of these, you're going to win more games.
So there you have it. So on the offensive end, positioning, turning in, fundamentals, getting one go-to move that goes every time towards the middle, that sets up everything else.
They've got to complement each other. Just like you guards work on, I'm great on my moves with my right hand getting past the defense. But my left hand, well, when they start playing your right hand all the time and you don't have the left hand, you're not a professional. Okay, you have to be professionally prepared and be able to go in either direction. It's the same in here. If I can't complement my moves into the paint with something going this way, pretty soon they're going to take what I do well away from me, and I have nothing else to use. But when I have something to use going in either direction, I'm always the threat, and that's how I help my team.
There we have it. Fundamentals right here. Alex is going to be our next hook shot taker going into the NBA, right?
Could I ask one question here?
Sure.
When you were at UCLA, they ruled out the dunk play. Did that help your game, or did that hurt your game?
I don't think it hurt or helped my game in either way. Everybody was playing by the same rules. The shots that I had the opportunity to dunk, I just laid those up and we kept playing. That's all that was about.
All right.
That's good when you're good enough that they make a rule to stop everyone else from doing it, because basically it was the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar rule.
It was the Kareem
It was the Lou
Abdul-Jabbar rule.
Alcindor rule at that time. But you know what?
But it had whiskers on it. It looked like Stalin, but actually it was my rule.
That's great.
So I'm just going to bump you in your lower body. Now, when I start bumping you, what you want to do, you want to sit, okay? See how much more difficult it is? You can fight for that spot when you sit. But if you're standing up straight like you were, I can walk you right off of that position, and it doesn't even look like it. So you come in here and you get low. Yeah, right. Now you tell Kenny where you want the ball, and now you go. Perfect. Now he's shooting a jump hook. Now the only difference between the jump hook and the way I shoot it with a step. He's shooting it, he's coming in, he's planning, and then jumping off 2 feet. But the motion is exactly the same. See, now I took that from you. You should have spun baseline on that. Let's try that again. Okay, I'm here. There you go.
Learns quickly.
That's it.
Kareem, we talk about repetition. How many hook shots would you take a day? How many would you take going?
Well, I would shoot 100 in close and then 100 on the
perimeter.
On the 12-foot mark.
Okay.
And then I'd shoot 300 in the middle from about 8 feet.
So that's a full day's work.
Well, yeah, but it's the tools of your trade.
No question. All right. We only got 999 to go, Alex.
There it is. And after a while, you develop instincts,
Right.
okay? You feel me, you know where I'm playing, you don't have to see me, that you just go where I'm not. You just go where the defense isn't.
Last one in there. Oh,
Good.
good job. Instincts, 300, 100, didn't take 5. Takes 300 a day. That's the difference. Well, Coach, let's say if I'm just starting out and I need to know an offense or a practice plan, what would you do or what would you show people watching the program to kind of, I'm just getting started out, I need to know what's going on.
Well, we always start off with a light jog around the court just to warm up the body. A lot of people want to stretch right off the bat, and I think you need to warm up your body before you start stretching. So we do a little jogging, then we do a little stretching. And then our beginning drills are kind of a half-speed warm-up drills, jogging, V-cuts, things of that nature, ball handling drills. And then we'll speed up a little bit of fast break drills, and then we'll go into some of our specialties of the day. If we're working on a certain defense set or offense set, we might do some introducing. Then we'll do some shooting drills. But probably 70% of our practice, 60% is defense. And we spend it mostly on the man-to-man side just because it carries over and helps on the when we play zone.
Well, let's say you didn't have Kareem and you couldn't run, you couldn't just throw the ball inside. What kind of offense can you show us, maybe using your guys to kind of show us a different variation of something simple just to get started?
Well, we have a real simple offense called the power game offense. And what we do with this, you can run man or zone off it with a few variations. And it's pretty simplified, and it's something I think you could run from the 4th grade level all the way up through high school. And, you know, I'd like to show it to the...
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, boys, why don't you come out here? We got a ball. Give Jake the ball. We'll start off by showing the power game offense, which would be free throw line extended, Cameron. It's a 1-2-2 set. We number our players. Point guard is a one-man. Right wing is a 2. Left wing's a 3. Right low post is a 4-man. And our big man's a 5-man. So when I'm substituting or during the game, I can say you're at the 2 spot, you're at the 3 spot, you're at the 1 spot. So, you know, that's how we do it to simplify it. Even numbers were on the right side in this case, odd numbers on the left side. Again, this is a versus zone defense. Usually you're going to find a 2-3 zone in lower level basketball. And we started off with the initial pass. We'll throw to one of the wings. We'll throw the ball out here to Cameron. Here. Now what we do against a zone, our off big man will now come to the high post. And he will place himself a little bit above the free throw line. Now the reason I do that is because there's spacing now in between here. If Alex came across and was down here, one guy could almost get away with guarding 2. So we try to get a little spacing here. So now Alex at the high post, Steve's at the low post. Now we ask our low post to play above the block, because otherwise they get too low in the block, they have a hard time getting the baseline shot off. So he stays here. Our one rule is if they play behind the low post, you throw them the ball every time. Kareem talked about it earlier, people having confidence and the good percentage shot, and that's why you give the ball down here, because a lot of good things happen when you go inside first. So if the ball is thrown in here to Steve, he gets the ball, we do this. Now, our off guard, our point guard always swings to the short 17. The free throw line's 15 feet, so when we refer to short 17, it's about right in here. It's about 17 feet from the basket. And our wing doesn't go baseline, but he goes right here. Move up a little bit, Mike, right here. Now, when he has the ball here, once Cameron throws it in, we give him the option to relocate. Because a lot of times the zone, once the ball is thrown in, they'll turn to look to see where the ball is, look back, and now Cameron's relocated. So now Steve has an option. He can make his post move, and I hope he has a go-to move like Kareem does. He can make his move, or he can hit Cameron, who relocated out here for maybe a jump shot. We have the high post. When the ball goes low, he will drop step and cut down the middle of the key. And a lot of times you'll see the post be able to hit him, cutting down the middle for a layup, because the guard guarding him has lost sight of the high post where he can slip through. If that isn't open, he can always swing the ball out here and skip it out to the point guard. Now what we have now is Alex at low. Jake will back out a little bit. Steve's coming back up here to the high post. He's going to be a foot above the free throw line. And we're right here in this set. And we're right back to where we were, just on the opposite side of the court. Jake swings the ball to the wing. Jake swings to the weak side. Now the one thing with the wing, if he's here with the ball, if Mike's got the ball here, come here Mike, out here at the wing, we tell the offside wing to go diagonal. He'll go to the baseline. It's an easier pass. Jake's open on the weak side in the short 17. If he dribbles the ball to the baseline to get a better angle to pass it into the low post, and Jake's going to step up some, and Cameron's going to step up some, because you don't want to throw through the rim and try to skip past to the guy on the opposite side. This is the basic setup of the power game offense versus zone. Now let's go back to our spots. Let's say the team's playing man-to-man. This is where it makes it a lot easier, because a lot of times teams will shift on you, they'll change up defenses, and man-to-man in the younger age levels is very difficult to put an offense together, because you don't get a lot of offensive practice time to work on a motion offense. So the only variation we do on power game when they go to man is we stack our guards behind the low post, Mike, and we ask them to develop a forward lead, which we've talked about earlier on our program. And what we do is he has the option. He can pop out if he can get open that way. If he has to come up the key here and maybe arm bar me, where he puts his arm into me and gets open, he's there, the other wing's there. And now, on the initial pass to the wing, instead of him just flashing high, this is where we do our screen across, which is another drill we've done in our program, showing how to defend it and how to use it. And what Steve will do, he'll come across here, set a pick for Alex. Alex can go high or low. Then Steve, which Kareem showed earlier on the pick and roll, he will sit down and he will open up, not turn this way, open up and come up here to the high post. And right there, we're in our power game set again. Now versus man-to-man, if Cameron has the ball and they want to front the low post, like Kareem talked about earlier with how they do Shaq, the ball goes to high post. Now he walls me up, he throws straight down to Alex, and Alex got a layup. At the same time, when Jake passes the ball to the wing here, he's going to exchange on the weak side. So once he passes the ball to the wing, Jake's going to go screen for Mike. So we got a little bit of motion on the weak side, which helps out because sometimes that weak side defender that Coach Jason talked about earlier, who sits in this key, he can't just sit here. He's going to start coming up here with his man. So we get some motion on the weak side to possibly get them the ball. Now, if they don't get the ball, we can throw the ball to the point guard. He can swing it here to the wing. Now we cross. He will come hard first. Alex comes right off his hip. They exchange, and we're right back into it. And it's a real easy flow. So that's the basics of the power game offense versus zone and versus man. Now we have a few set plays that we will run with the power game offense, and I'll demonstrate the man-to-man one right now. Let's go back to your spots. Stack it behind, Mike. Now, to get your people open, sometimes just a flare cut out is not effective. So we have a rule: two-man goes across, two-man always sets a screen for the three-man. Two-man comes here, sets a screen, three comes off him, comes off Steve, then the two-man comes out. Now, what you're thinking is, how come I'm always the one setting the screen? Why can't I be the one going out there? Well, usually if you're the one setting the screen, you're going to be the one open because they'll flow to that guy. So there's another way to get into the offense, into the man-to-man offensive power game. We also have, come here, both of you come back to your spots. We also have an overload off the offense. So now let's have both wings cross again, two-man screen for three-man. Cameron comes out there, the free throw line extended. What is free throw line extended? Here's your free throw line, extend out to the three-point arc. Ball's passed to the wing. What we do is he screens across. Steve comes hard to the block. Alex reverse pivots, comes up here, and we bring Mike to the corner. Now what we have versus man-to-man is a complete overload on one side of the court where it causes a lot of havoc. If this guy in the corner can shoot the ball, you can shoot, right, Mike? Yeah, very good. Right here, we can get an isolation here, and especially if they want to turn in front here, we can throw over or work the high-low. So we like to sometimes use the overload as part of this offense. One other play we run, let's go bring it out front and set it up again, is we'll run a stack out of this with our two posts. And what we have here is we'll move Alex over here on top above Steve, and we'll move Cameron over here with Mike. Now both of you are going to be above the block. Step up, both of you be above the block. Now as Jake comes down, what we'll try to do is Mike will pop out here, Cameron will go out here, and we'll take Steve, he'll come off the double. Steve will then flash hard here to the middle, drawing the center, and Alex will turn here and slip behind for the lob. So that's another set play we use off this, and it's effective against the zone as well as man-to-man. One other option we have, let's go back to our original set, is we'll go back to the zone. We'll go back to the zone. You guys pop out here to the wings. We'll dribble Phil. Let's say he's having a hard time getting the wing, or we want just a different look. Jake can dribble at the wing. Now we can do two things. Cameron can go out. Mike can replace Jake, and we're right in our set. As soon as he gets free throw line extended, then Alex can come here to high post. If it's zone or it's man-to-man, he can screen across. Just a different look, just a different way of moving people around. Okay, let's go back, set it up again. Next thing we can do off this is a dribble fill with a shallow cut. And what we do here is Jake's dribbling here to the wing. Cameron will come down and just shallow out to this spot here. Now all of a sudden, say he's our best shooter. I've taken him out of there, so they're not so used to guarding him there. Now we've relocated him up here, maybe for the shot. If not, if he dribbles there, he's not open, we're right into offense. If it's man-to-man, he's going to exchange, come up. If it's zone, we're just going to pop here. So different variations we can run off the same offense. So as a coach, it's easy on me to say, we're in power game, and if they're in man, fine, we just adjust. If they're in zone, we adjust. So that's what makes power game effective for the young kids all the way up to the varsity basketball team.
Well, we're here with one of the all-time greats in NBA history, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And one of the first questions I want to ask you is, people see your size and your stature, but how important were the fundamentals of the game for you?
For me, the fundamentals were everything. If it were not for the fundamentals, I would have just been another tall, aspiring athlete trying to play basketball. Getting the fundamentals at the right time in my life certainly helped. I was still in grade school and got some good fundamental training, and it really helped me throughout my whole career.
Well, did you learn more? Did you have a base early, like at Powell Memorial High School in New York, or even before that in grade school?
Really, in grade school, I started to learn just certain key things that were drilled into me by my coach, Farrell Hopkins. And about the 8th grade, I started to get my hands on a few free passes to Madison Square Garden, where I could go watch Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. And that was like a great seminar to attend.
One of the things that you see now, you see a lot of athleticism and you see a lot of great plays because of the highlights, so to speak. What do you think that most players now kind of lack in terms of fundamentals?
Well, in terms of fundamentals, most players aren't understanding how they interact with the other guys on the team. They think it's all about what one individual does that is so extraordinary, when actually it's about what a group of guys do together. It's always that last pass to the open guy who gets the easy shot that makes it an easy game. And basketball is a very fundamental, easy game. You just have to understand what those are and try to apply yourselves to using them, and that's how teams come together.
Well, if you probably had a list of a top 100 coaches ever to coach basketball, a lot of your coaches would be in that list, from high school, grade school, and in the NBA, and college as well. So how was it playing for great coaches? How important is that?
Well, I think when you get the message, which is it's about the extra pass, it's about helping your teammates, knowing where the ball is, and understanding what you want to do as a group. Those aren't a whole lot of lessons to learn. There are a whole lot of applications to those lessons, but those aren't a whole lot of lessons to learn. So once you learn those lessons and how to apply them to the game, you become a better team player. And when you have a group of guys that understand that, it's even better. I remember my high school coach would tell us, we'd come back, we'd go see the Boston Celtics play, and my high school coach would ask guys on the team, all right, how many guys on the Celtics scored 20 points? Nobody on the Celtics scored 20 points. You had a whole, about 6 or 7 guys scoring between 9 and 18 points, and these guys always took the shot, and they won their games easily.
If you had to preach one message individually, say, okay, I'm going to try to learn the team concept, but individually, there's some fundamental things as a big man that I really have to know and start with. What would be the basis of that?
Well, the one key thing for big men is to understand what happens around the basket. It's different from any other space on the court, and it's a very crucial space. It's the space where the highest percentage shots are taken, and it's the space where the most rebounds are taken. So you've got to know how to play that area if you're a big man and be effective in there, either keeping your man from getting offensive rebounds, blocking shots, or being a scorer yourself and an effective rebounder. Those are key issues in the paint. Away from the paint, it's about defense, passing, ball handling, seeing who's free, setting people up. But inside the paint, it gets to be quite a nasty game. I know that's where most people start bleeding. When you see somebody bleeding on the court, it usually happened in the paint someplace.
Now you see, now you're coaching and scouting. Now everyone talks about things that guys are lacking. What do you see about the game you say, man, it's getting better or it's changing?
Well, I think the athletic ability of the younger players is extraordinary. there is no want for good athletes. I think what they call the basketball IQ suffers from in spots here where people don't understand what to do with all this incredible talent. But in terms of what the guys can do, they're extraordinary.
And playing with all the great teams, fondest memories, college or NBA?
Geez, I've had so many great memories in the game starting in grade school. I mean, that I've been so privileged. Certainly what you go through as a college athlete, you know, trying to reach manhood, that makes that a very certain special time for sure. And then being able to earn a living doing something that you love and did for free in the middle of winter for no money when you were a kid is certainly a privilege and an honor, and it's something that we all enjoy.
Now, we're both here because it's Magic's fundamental of the game, playing with Magic. How was that?
Well, you know, when you get to play with someone who has mastered all the elements of the game in terms of understanding the game and being able to make it happen on the court, you've been blessed. It's a real privilege to play with people with that much talent and that much enthusiasm for the game. It's infectious. Helped prolong my career. So, you know, I have to take my hat off and really give some appreciation to Irvin and all the rest of the teammates that helped make my career so special.
I wasn't as fortunate to have tapes or videos or programs like this to kind of show me from start to finish how to become a better player. Did you have any people that you kind of could look up to and see to get better?
Well, I have to say that the program that I went through at my grade school, St. Jude School in Manhattan, we had a coach. He might not have been the greatest coach, but he stuck to it, and I learned a few things from him, and then also from watching the professional game. And then my high school coach, Jack Donahue, was extraordinary and really was able to tell me the things I needed to watch and learn from in watching the professional game. I was able to do that. I went from there to Coach John Wooden. How good can you get? Right? I've been really blessed that way, and I was able to learn from the masters, and being raised in New York in that hotbed of basketball, you know what that's about. Starting in grade school, really, high school, college, everybody appreciated the game there, and the game was played at a very sophisticated level, and that was something that I aspired to.
How would you think a program like this would have helped you?
Geez, I think a program like this would have helped me an awful lot in that it would make it clear where you need to go with your talent. That's the most difficult thing for kids to figure out what to do with that talent.
Well, we figured out every perspective that you can possibly have from the inside out. And I think knowing the fundamentals, as Kareem has just said, knowing the fundamentals of the game is what made him a great player. Not that he was his size, his stature. He could have just been another player if he didn't have the fundamentals of the game. And that's why a program like this is important.